global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our channel. Something fantastically unique is going on in the political radar. In Abuja as we speak, FCT is booming. Quite a lot of persons are calling out Wike. It looks as if Wafobara is taking a little break from Wike's group and all that. In Abuja, Abuja is feeling the heat of the presence of the FCT minister, and this is one video you need to watch, as one of them have called out on the president to rein in on Wike, the FCT minister, over land grabbing, and hear the story of the land in question. I must say it's quite a touching one. Then we'll come back and find out the elaborate celebration waiting for Wike back home in Rivers State in a few days to come. The question is, how did we get here? Let's listen to them. Let's listen to her very quickly, and we'll come back for more details on this.
Ayo, look, go to that camp. There are Italians. All of them are white. Most of them are white. How do you think white people will stay in a dilapidated area? This is puzzling. You want to dilapidate? This is all I'm asking today. I'm asking all Nigerians to prove Wike. Enough is enough in this country. This is our country. I work here. I worked in this country. For God's own sake, it should be probed. All land should be probed. It's grabbing land that I say so. Because I'm a Nigerian. He is a Nigerian. Why should he grab lands from people who labored for it? Where was he when Abuja was a forest? Why? What? And I challenge Mr. President, whose name is being used and polluted, that he must probe Wike. Enough is enough. Yes, to take over and to look into all the matters. But as I said, I am a journalist and I've done my investigation journalism. The land grabbing in Abuja is not going to help this country. Enough is enough. And you shouldn't forget, I'm a chief from the Niger Delta. Our money is being used here. Look at our home. We are dilapidated. If you want to talk about this dilapidation, go to the Niger Delta. Go to my grandmother's house. Go to my grandfather's house, where the oil is being pumped. That is where you should go to. That is where you should help Nigerians if you want to. Not money brought to Abuja and is sunk here and is being taken over by big men of the country.
All right, welcome back. This is the pains of some FCT in the resident living in FCT, literally begging on the president to rein in an FCT minister is literally taking all their lands. The story seems to be echoing every other place in FCT. But while in Rivers State, associates and loyalists of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory FCT Abuja, nyesom Wike, have perfected plans to shut down Rivers State, particularly Port Harcourt, the capital city, in celebration of his birthday. The grand plan, which is expected to make a strong statement on Wike's indisputable political leadership of Rivers amidst the ongoing crisis in the state, will feature various events across the state. It was gathered that new groups and movements, including the New Associates, Wike'Matic Youth, Wike'Matic Women, and Rivers Ijaw Progressive Congress, RIPCO, will be on parade on Friday at different venues across the state. Now, according to Senator George Thompson Sikibo, convener of the New Associate, numerous supporters of the minister are excitedly waiting to mark this day. Now, Sikibo announced that a public lecture titled Pragmatic Strides of a Visionary Leader and Contemporary Issues of Society would herald the celebration. He noted that the event will feature prominent guests, including the Senate President as the special guest of honor, a former president of the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, OCJ Okocha, as the special guest of honor and guest lecturer, and Professor Julius Iobere. Sekubo emphasized that Wike remains the indisputable leader of Rivers politics, having survived all the mechanizations against him. The forthcoming birthday is unique in the sense that despite all efforts of the betrayers, the minister has been able to keep our political family in Rivers State intact. He said, he has survived all the mechanization of the devil, and our leader, by the grace of God, continues to wax strong. We are calling on the numerous supporters of our leader to attend the event. While in Abuja, they are screaming and shouting, Wike o, Wike o. While in Rivers State, they are saying it's undisputed. He is a visionary leader, and they are calling on him in nyesom Wike in FCT that the president should reign on him is land grabbing. My colleague is in the house. Do you honestly think that the moves Wike is making is really in favor of the president? Do you think the FCT people, in all honesty, come 2027, will give their vote en masse to the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when the time is right?
Well, I think that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu have that question to answer. He has been a long-term politician and he's been around for as long as possible. You know, Nigerians, as much as we can be very quiet, but at one point we can be very determined. Don't forget that most people who have heard the story of Wike in Rivers State did not really know it's to this extreme, you know. But right now in Rivers State, in Abuja, you're seeing some persons, for example, very dark man getting involved, Deji getting involved. Some old activists are also getting involved in this whole show because it's getting out of hand. This was a place that was a bush recovered. A lot of people have bought landed property. And guess what? These are monies people had worked for legitimately, and they use it to buy land as though it's taken away from them. Some of the details we've heard thus far from, for example, very dark man, I saw his own case, and it was really pathetic. 1984, someone bought a land, and he has saved this country, and 4 years ago he died, and as though somebody's taking it. Fingers were pointed to some companies only for it to be redirected to, still people around Wike, bought the land and all of that. All of that is not good enough for the reputation of this administration. I don't know what Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing about it, but I can assure you that if this trend continues like this, though Nigerians are very swift to forgetting, because I know very well that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when he has been a long time politician, when he gets to a particular time, closer to that time, maybe 2026, he will shut down on anything that is anti-people. Anything, all this land grabbing, all of shut down. Don't do anything about it again. What
about the pains of those their lands have been grabbed?
That's when the people need to come out to say, this is the position. We cannot. Because, one of the most interesting part of this game, if Bola Ahmed Tinubu is very good in playing this kind of game, is when he gets to this point, sometimes you speak up and say, I've heard the cry, Wike, halt. Whatever, these issues, whoever land that was taken, let's suspend the infrastructure, let's return it back, and all of that. I'm trying to give you a strategy that can win back the heart of the people back to the president, because the president needs to be smart enough. It's not going to be Wike alone that will vote. And guess what? As much as we know Wike is a very influential guy, he knows how to play politics and all of that. But come on, we don't know how politics is being played in Abuja. You understand?
But it's a case of for the past how many years now? For the past, I think, a decade now, we have been used to the judiciary determining who the president is. So our vote technically doesn't count. Let's just perform the rituals of electoral process. But eventually, it's the court that will determine who the president is. So they are now very friendly with the court. So what are we saying?
Well, unfortunately, it may get to a point that it may not work like that again, because if as much as the entirety of the North will give their vote to some other person, and then Abuja does same, and then there's a struggle in the South and in the East, and it gets to a point whereby, pressure is coming from everywhere. I don't know how it's going to work out, but guess what? I think the Northerners, Nigerians, and far and wide are complaining about this administration. And if I was in the position of the president, I will halt on a lot of things. One of the things that may be covering his eyes is the fact that he's not with his phone to know full details of what is going on in the country. I can assure you that every day he's being briefed about the good side of a lot of things going on, because being a politician of that repute, if he holds his phone, goes on Twitter, goes on Instagram, goes on Facebook, reads goes on YouTube, goes on virtually all the social media and see what is happening, I can assure you that at one point he will say, no, something is going bad here. There are some things that he will respond via his media aids to ensure that these things are caught. But unfortunately, that's not happening. But, just like what we are seeing, for some people, Wike is bad. It's not doing so well for them, or it's fighting them, it's affecting them negatively. But for some, they have, Wike as a deliverer for them. Why? Because some of them were in Mary Claire, and they have been redeemed from their Mary Claire to the mountain tops. And so some of them gloriously are sitting with kings and dining. Imagine what he did to someone like Fubara, who was just an accountant general. All of a sudden, emergency becomes, the king of the land. So there are a lot of such people whom he had done so to. So most of them, and some of them are very good talkers. Most of them, everywhere now you see them, they are booming, week away. But until when he stings, that's when you will know that, man, this guy is not a joker. And guess what? Someday, such people also will be affected. I feel that at this point, things should be put under control for the sake of democracy or for Nigerians.
All right, that's going to wrap it up. Happy birthday in advance to the FCT minister and the former governor of Rivers State. Some hate him, like him, but he's a prominent political player in Nigerian politics. That's going to wrap it up.